Alright, so I got a really big package. I already know what it is. I got it a few days ago. I just haven't had a chance to build it until now. So, I'm gonna stand it up like this. Try to get it all the way to the back. And even then, it's still pretty big. I'm gonna raise the camera just a little bit. Oh, come on, open. Open, I said. There it is. The largest Jurassic World set ever made up until this date. Beating the original winner, Jurassic Park T-Rex Rampage, which I built somewhat recently, a few months ago. Beating that one by only 25 pieces. So, this set is very big. Very, very big. It comes with 3,145 pieces altogether. I am super excited to build this. There's some art on the top of the box of the whole skeleton, of course, with the minifigures you're able to get. There's not any or much art on the other sides. There's a little bit on this one of just the T-Rex head. Bottom of the box is pretty standard, just a bunch of company stuff. The back of the box, though, shows you the full skeleton, some of the articulation it has in the tail and in the head. It gives you a real T-Rex skull to compare with, I guess. Shows you the plaque that you're able to get, or that you're going to get in the set. And it shows you this schematic, which tells you exactly how long it is and how tall it is. It is 13 inches tall. I don't have a shelf that I can put this on yet. And it is 14.5. 41.5, my bad. 41.5 inches, so that's over 3 feet long. And I have the brick-built T-Rex from the T-Rex Rampage with me as well, so we're gonna definitely do a comparison between the two. But right now, this thing is from my desk to where I am. And my desk is over there out of the camera frame, so it's pretty big. I might just have to sit this on my desk and clean up my desk so it looks good and then do a review from on top of my desk. But it is time to open this up, so I have to stand up now, move over here, and get my trusty X-Acto knife. I don't want to damage this, so I need to find exactly where the tape is. I'm going to open it from this end. I do not want to damage this box. This box looks absolutely amazing. Now, the T-Rex Rampage had another box inside the Lego box, so I don't know if this one's going to. Wow! That is a lot. More than I have ever expected. Okay, so before 2023, the largest set I ever did contained 12 bags. Then the T-Rex Rampage came along and held 18 bags, I believe. It was either 15 or 18, I can't remember. That's a 24. I've never built more than 18 or 15 bags. So this is... I'm not sleeping until this thing is fully assembled. I will stay up for days if I have to. But there's 24, 23, 15, 4, 7, 11, 17, 25, 18, 6, 8, 16, 2, 5, 21, I think there's a second 21, 19, 13, 22, 14, 12, I assume this is the instruction booklet. 10, 1, 6, 3, and finally 20. And we got the plaque that you're gonna get. Try to show it more in the light. But we'll take a closer look at that after the set's built. I do like the printing on the plaque though. Okay, where's my X-Acto at? Don't want to rip the instruction booklet, but I do gotta get it open. Wow! Okay, so there's 3 different instruction booklets. There they are, the 3 different instruction booklets. And I think, if I saw the back one correctly, they match up. So it starts with that. Oh no, they don't. It just tells you which instruction booklet is which. But it looked like for a second that may have been like the tail coming in and the body and then the head, but no. And it also tells you at the back as a dinosaur scratch. So 1, 2, and then 3. But these are thick. And I'm so excited to build this thing. So that's now what I have to do, is actually build it. So I'll see you in multiple hours whenever it's complete. So I'm going to go through each bag of pieces as we continue, and then I will show you the finished product. So, of course, the pile of pieces which I created. Then we have bag 1, which we started to build the platform. Bag 2, we finished up more of smoothing out the platform and building up the places where the stakes would go in that actually hold up the skeleton, along with making the places for the feet to be pressed. Then you put in the pillars, and you build up around them a little bit more. You did a little bit more decoration around where the feet would go. You build... my dog likes to bark a lot. Why are you always barking when I'm filming?
Anyways, you build up more of the rock structure around the pillars, which hold them in place for whenever you pick it up, because you can only pick this thing up by those pillars. The next, I took a picture of a frog. Now, why did I do that? In the original T-Rex Rampage set, which I built a while ago, I think I've already mentioned that, there was a frog inside of it. And in this skeleton, there's a frog inside of it as well. And then this was the next piece, which is this is actually the beginning of the skeleton itself, in which you can see the frog in there. So then you start to round it off a little bit more, and you add in these Technic pieces, which then will lead to the ribs. Here you build up more towards the neck. You can actually get the neck pieces started. And then we're going to skip that. And here you start with a little bit more of the back and starting with the pelvis. Then you actually add in most of the more I can't speak. More intrident. No, that's not how. You add in the neck pieces. Then you actually are able to put it on the stand with the next bag. Then we started building the legs, and you build part of the legs with one, and then go ahead and put it on the stand. Next leg, and then you actually added in the toenails and everything for where it's supposed to stand. Then you add in the ribs, which was actually probably my funnest bag. The bag I had the most fun with was doing the ribs. Then you add in the arms, which was a nice touch. And then you start with the tail. The tail you start with. So these next are just going to be the tail being extended. And the hips are also added. I forget when they were added. I don't know when they were. They must have been added right here with the hips and the arms. And then the tail being finished. And then finally the skull being assembled into the full thing. And here, yeah, so, and then the last bag was doing the pedestal and the little fossil dig they're having. And here is a comparison between the original T-Rex Rampage T-Rex and this skeleton. And with that, here it is live and in person. So, it said it's 41.5 inches long and 13 inches tall. I don't know how accurate that is, but I can definitely believe it. So, looking at the skull itself, looks pretty similar to this skull. It does have some few changes like the jaw and other places, but it's pretty much the exact same. The neck doing each of these were somewhat annoying, but if you can get them angled correctly, it's not too bad. The way that this is connected to the ribcage is a little weird, but it looks okay. I'm not a huge fan of how it looks here in the front, but it's okay for what it's doing. I definitely would have wished it would be not as far forward. If they could have pushed it back, I would have liked that a little bit better. I especially like the detail with the pelvis and the legs. That's really nice. And for some reason, I really like the toes. I don't know why I like them so much, but I do. And then the tail. The tail has 4 points of articulation. One here, one here, one here, and one here. And that will allow you to get a somewhat good curve into the tail. Now, I'm probably going to keep it straight once I have a place to display this, which I don't have yet. There's not much to complain about or to show, but I really enjoy this. This was a lot of fun to build. I stayed up to 2 a.m. just to finish it. The head joint here is very, very interesting because you can turn the head to the side and you can also tilt it up or down. And I really like the fact that they did that with the neck. That way you can articulate it any way you like. But I think I'm probably going to have it up one click with the jaw just a little bit open. And the jaw is also different from the previous T-Rex because you can open this one to almost 90 degrees, as where with that one you can't. Now there are a few little Easter eggs. The plaque, of course, which says everything on the other plaque from the previous largest set, except for the two new ones, which are time period and specimen. And I don't know if specimen is referring to anything. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to open up Google on my computer back here and see if I can look up that specimen. Over here you have Alan and Ellie, both good minifigures. They each have an alternate face, as where Ellie has sunglasses, and Alan's alternate face also has sunglasses, as you can see. It's hard to put minifigures as accessories back on them with one hand, especially when they fall on the floor and you can't find them. Okay, I guess Alan is just going to have to be bald for a little bit. There is a small Easter egg over here. You take this piece off. There's another T-Rex skull in there. And of course, what has been in almost every set since Dominion, a piece of amber. And there's also these geode pieces, which I have never seen before. And I actually really like these geode pieces because of the detail on the inside. I'd have to get it into the light to show you, and I don't have much light in my room. But it's supposed to be like an amber geode, I assume. But I really do enjoy this set. Like I said, not much to complain about. If this had a little bit more of, because a lot of it's very flat. You get 3 different sizes, and then it's flat the entire way to the pelvis, and then back again. Get 3 flat, 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 flat. Even on the bottom, it's the same for most of them. But if you don't notice that, there's really not much to complain about. So if you look up the specimen number, it literally comes up with the Lego set itself, which I think that's actually kind of cool. But that's pretty much it. Still gotta find Alan's hairpiece. I just gotta figure out where in my room am I going to put it, because that is the only shelf I can think that might have room, other than the original big dino shelf. But that shelf's reserved for my dinosaurs. I could put it on there, but my T-Rex is on there. I could put it on here, but the shelves aren't big enough. And this is the only place that I can currently put it that has room for it. I don't know what I'm gonna do.